Hey traders, this is Jeff from Zen Trader. Hope everybody had a good day trading today. Hopefully, the majority of you are positioned short or on the sidelines. I've been talking about how I expect the markets to go down here for a while now. What I want to do is I just want to look at the general markets and GDX and GLD for this update. So today we got the downside break out of this channel, which is it bodes very well for the short position because now we have resistance here, we've got gap resistance, and I mean this chart just looks bearish. We rallied at the end of the day, well actually for most of the lunchtime in the afternoon session, but really we just managed to basically, I look at this as a knee-jerk reaction, rally back to resistance. Same thing here on the Dow. The Dow was even weaker. We had this upsloping channel that we broke down out of, so we could maybe go up a little bit more, but these indexes, they look weak to me. I held my shorts. I just really see no reason to cover at this point in time. Tomorrow, I don't know if it's before or after the closed Apple report, so that's obviously going to have a big effect on the markets. I haven't even looked at Apple's chart, but it's really not going to offer any clues. Apple's had I'm looking at it right now on my other computer, it's had a good pullback. I would classify, like, if they released blowout earnings and the market turned around tomorrow, I would say that Apple has had an acceptable pullback, that it could go higher from here, but at the same time, when you look at a weekly, it's really overbought, so it could also have more of a correction. So it's really a coin toss as to how Apple's earnings are gonna be tomorrow and how they're gonna affect the general markets. Just going by what I'm looking at in the charts right now, and this is the TSX, same thing, downside break out of this wedge, so everything looks bearish, everything looks on track for further losses, but we're really gonna have to wait and see tomorrow. My signal is still negative, and I'm gonna hold that until that turns positive. So onto the miners, that was a pretty big topic. I noticed that there were a lot of people on Twitter who thought that this is a bottom, and it very well could be. I tend to think that there's more downside in store. When you look at a weekly chart, I just don't see any clear area of support basically at today's lows. I look at this and I think, yeah, the miners have had a hard time, but the RSI is still above 30. I really want to see panic in the miners and in gold, and when you look at a weekly chart of gold, you don't really get that sense. So I think any buys right now could be maybe a little premature. I either want to buy like strength or extreme weakness in the gold and miners, and if I had a choice between the two, it's always going to be extreme weakness, because for some reason gold stocks, they don't behave like normal momentum stocks. It almost seems like there's so many times in the past when they just looked like they were going to break out, then they would end up reversing and almost collapsing. So for me to want to take a position in gold or the miners, GDX, I really want to see some extreme selling, and I just don't see that when I look at the weekly charts. When I look at the intraday charts, the 60 minutes, this isn't, we're not even outside the bottom channel here. We're just kind of in the middle. This looks like it's just drifting down, doing what it's supposed to do in the context of this downward sloping channel. We broke down. I actually was talking about this head and shoulder pattern that was forming. We actually satisfied the measurement here today. Same thing with gold. We're just kind of slowly, going down inside this channel. So until we at least get a break outside of here, it's hard for me to even consider that these charts are showing any kind of strength.